Dillard utilizes the motif of transforming clouds to parallel human memories, hold religious connotations, demonstrate our insignificance as an individual, and criticize our self-perception. In Dillard's work for the time being, she illuminates the similarities between clouds and human memories to show the times when humans tend to recall their memories, as well as how they change and fade away. To start, Dillard references John Constable's sketching of clouds, which swirled from a central black snarl, page 20, to show how, like clouds, memories combine together, change form, and become mixed due to our interactions with them. She then highlights our quest for seeking old retired memories when she rhetorically questions, why seek dated clouds? Why save a letter, take a snapshot, write a memoir, carve a tombstone? Page 47. Such dated memories are surely swirled and do not retain the true occurrence of events. They are pointless recollections of the past that Dillard believes have no purpose and do not affect our future. Later, she even writes that the clouds are scattered, some riding high, while others streak below. Page 20. Just as human memories are often scattered and disintegrated. She brings to the reader's attention the question why we value these memories so highly, why we possess these records like gravestones of individual clouds and the dates which they flourished, page 20, when they are altered and non-coherent. Dillard then responds to her question when she provides the example of Maria's death on page 20, writing that we still have these dated clouds, memories of the life of Maria. This brings us to another aspect of memory that Dillard mirrors through clouds. We tend to reflect on our life memories when we begin to take note of our remaining time ticking away. Dillard references a work of fiction by George Borge about the protagonist, Irene Funes, who suffers an accident whilst riding a horse, and his injury causes him to remember absolutely everything. Interpreting this injury as a life-threatening one, as it is portrayed in the work, Funes the Memorious, Dillard shows his reflection upon the memories of his life by echoing how he remembered the shapes of the clouds and compared them to other things he had seen in his life, page 129, as if he was reflecting on past memories and making various hindsight connections. This is furthered with the anecdote of World War II and the death of millions of people, presumably creating and watching the immense structure of cumulus clouds rising, page 156. This imagery conveys many humans' reflections on life as they come to the realization that their time left is soon coming to an end. They make and experience the clouds, a metaphor for their memories in life, due to danger's imminent threat. John Constable also experienced this with his dying wife, recording clouds, symbols of their memories together. While Jose Colon notes that a dense cloud could hang over the Caribbean for days, page 186, as dark memories can linger for days. Soon after, they disappear. In the end, all clouds fade away. Dillard writes that as people describe them, they vanish, page 71. In this, she parallels how people recall upon memories that can disappear in a matter of seconds. While the juxtaposition of the sky's mountains' tangibility and the clouds' lack thereof is present, Dillard writes that both are built up and die. Duration is nothing, page 72. Through parallels of the clouds and human memories, Dillard conveys that the past is in the past. We cannot bring it back, except for in our heads where it is distorted and foggy as the clouds are. All we can do is wait for new clouds to appear and new memories to be made. We should not allow cloudy memories to hang above our heads.
Dillard also utilizes her motif of clouds in order to reveal the religious connotations found within nature. When describing different clouds forming at Peloponnese, she utilizes an anecdote from Taylor stating, "The world is God's body, which relates God's influence in all aspects of nature." Taylor's anecdote reveals to the audience how the world is composed of complex systems created by a higher being humans will never fully understand, yet serve. Dillard employs this anecdote for the purpose of presenting to the audience how humans function as the cell of the world, making, using, and destroying parts left and right, all in the name of an individual's higher power. Dillard also utilizes an anecdote from John Muir in order to display another perspective of how humans will never fully comprehend the world around them. While studying clouds, Muir asks the rhetorical question, "What can poor mortals say about clouds?" in order to reveal how nature presents a greater force humans struggle to apprehend. Also, Dillard employs the question because she wants readers to understand that it is human nature to question nature, but sometimes there is no answer and individuals must simply enjoy the beauty. Basically, Dillard reveals God's influence, specifically through the motif of clouds, in order to present the simplicity of humans and how they will never be divine enough to have full knowledge about the nature that surrounds them. This is further exemplified through an anecdote from Augustine in which he states, "We are talking about God. What wonders is it you do not understand? If you do understand, then it is not God," which exhibits the complexity of God and how humans will never fully comprehend him. She relates this quote to her motif of clouds by including a series of rhetorical questions about why humans seek dated clouds, because the clouds symbolize the ambiguity of God. Clouds consistently change form, which is similar to God because it is believed he is in all aspects of Earth and changes form from person to person. Dillard argues that no one will fully be able to understand God, like clouds, because humans are not significant enough to have the knowledge of a divine being. This lack of knowledge due to a lack of divinity leads us to our next topic of human insignificance.
Each human being is solely part of the whole. Therefore, how can individuality be important if it really doesn't matter if it is I who die or another? Just as clouds are rarely remembered as individuals, humans make little individual impact on the world. As a population, humans have as equal significance as the clouds. Contributions are accumulated, but never completed by a single being. As a whole, the world revolves around every species that inhabits it, but not each one makes much difference. The clouds and humans themselves play an integral role on our planet, but there is little significance of each individual action. Results come from multiple occurrences. Not a single cloud can bring a storm, while a single person cannot accomplish insightful discoveries without others' contribution. Like clouds, we travelers meet in part with members of our cohort, our fellows in the panting caravans of those who are alive while we are, without growing fond of all who we experience. There is a lack of connection built between those we encounter with the knowledge that they too will leave without notice, as clouds dissolve from the sky. The footprint left behind of others is not permanent, but can quickly be washed away by the rain. Representative of humans, clouds morph throughout their lifespan, leaving before many can enjoy them. Little impact is made before the chance is gone. We are all marked men in the tally of the population that holds this bigger meaning. When humans die, it is the population that continues to fluctuate rather than mourn the loss of the dead. When clouds have disappeared from the sky, it is not a distinct cloud that is yearned for, but clouds in general. Clouds are metaphorical of humans as they travel through their lifespan. The sight of the individual is enjoyed by few until its cycle meets an end and the gap is filled by yet another, hoping to make a bigger impact than its predecessors.
Dillard uses a shape-shifting nature of clouds to criticize our self-perception. That self-perception we have is our individual sense of importance in the world. To start, Dillard provides an account from John Meyer in which he asks, "What can poor mortals say about clouds?" Page 71. His rhetorical question questions the validity of our self-perception, the poor mortals, of being the wiser, in our assumption that it cannot be the other way around. If knowledge was to be determined solely through the time of its existence, our individual human conscience would be minuscule in comparison to the millennium-old clouds. That stems the question then of, who are we, as individual humans, to judge when we only know so little in contrast? In describing the Peloponnesian War, Dillard refers to two shapes of clouds that were present: immense structure of cumulus cloud and underclouds floating like detached lining. Page 156. These two types metaphorically compare to varying qualities in humans, characteristics, one glorious and great while the other shy and detached from society. Dillard follows up with, "Does it matter to you, or to the world of time, which of the two you feel yourself resemble?" Page 156. This condescendingness of Dillard detracts from our preconceived notion that our individual decisions and thoughts matter and defines the world. In another anecdote, Hopkins noted that the clouds, stepping one behind the other, and questions, "Who were these individual clouds?" Page 106. By referring the inanimate clouds not as what, but by who, the clouds are perceived with a human-like identity, representative of an individual which, by his intention of his question, cannot be differentiated from one another. The individual clouds then are, again, just a single part of a whole, aimlessly stepping one behind the other without individualism. This analogy ultimately between the clouds and humans gives light on the blind ignorance of humans to their denial of their true reality.